Because I had outdated information about autism, I wasn't able to get recognized until I was 42 years old. My name is Catherine. I'm an autistic adult, and this is what I want people to know about that. There's a lot of stereotypes and misinformation out there. I was born with this neurotype. It's not a product of vaccines, diet, bad parenting, or trauma. I inherited my neurodivergent nervous system, my brain, spine, sense organs, my nerves connecting them, from my neurodivergent ancestors. The genes that carry autism, ADHD, Tourette's, and learning disabilities are heritable. I don't always act like a stereotypical autistic person because over my 45 years of life, I have learned to mask. I perform normalcy and I suppress my differences and my traits in order to make other people more comfortable. I try to minimize my differences and emphasize my strengths. I do this to fit in and to communicate clearly. It's uncomfortable for me, but I do make eye contact and small talk. I may even overdo the chatting and the eye contact a little bit. I've learned etiquette and conversational skills. I studied how to act normal and I practiced. I made up scripts. I imitated people or characters that I thought were more successful than me. I do grasp most social norms and hierarchies, though I rarely agree with them or follow them in private. I am not a math or a musical genius. I am an empath. I'm extremely sensitive to other people's emotions, desires, and body language. I am interested in other people and I want authentic connection. I have a high IQ. 70% of autistic people do not have intellectual disability. I do have co-occurring neurotypes, ADHD, dyscalculia, and CPTSD. Having one doesn't rule out the others. I understand most jokes and sarcasm. I've been married 21 years, I have sex, and I'm a mom. I have friends. Autism is not rare or new. It is not an epidemic. We've always been a naturally occurring human neurotype. I don't want a cure because neurodiversity benefits mankind. We need diverse responses to stimulus and information among humankind because it is impossible to predict the future. Humanity needs a variety of communication and thinking styles because we face an infinite possibility of outcomes. I can't speak for the typical adult autistic experience because there is no typical adult autistic experience. We're all different. But this is how I experience it. I've spent my whole life being rejected and ostracized for things that I didn't know that I was doing or things that I didn't realize were not okay to do. I've now become very sensitive to social dangers and potential rejection. Just like autistic kids, I have meltdowns, shutdowns, and burnouts, but they look a little different. I'm usually able to get to a private space or do it in an appropriate way, at home, not in public, at a timing of my own choosing. To other people, these times of overwhelm might look like bitchiness, irritability, sadness, anxiety, or depression. They're not. I have unique speech patterns, speech impediments, and unusual word choices. I need direct communication. Passive aggression, hints, and manipulation do not work for me. I like my environment organized and logical, clean, quiet, unscented, 71 degrees. Because that's impossible, I am constantly a little bit uncomfortable. I am sensory avoidant. I'm very sensitive to bright skies, loud sounds, strong perfumes. I need to set my own schedule and follow certain rules, routines, and rituals. I am a self-employed freelance gig worker. I'm highly sensitive to other people's moods, body language, and word choices. I take most of these social signals very personally, even if they're not about me. I work on that. Repetitive movements and certain sensations make me feel really calm and help me to pay attention. Might look like I'm restless or busy, but these are stems and I don't really need them mentioned or attention drawn to them. I must sleep, eat, and dress in very particular ways. And again, I don't need any commentary about my ways from outside observers. I have many co-occurring conditions: celiac disease, anxiety, skin and gut issues, and more. Issues with eating and sleeping. I make mistakes, get turned around, lose things, fumble things, drop things, and I sometimes get lost my own self. I struggle to fit into social groups, and I do a lot better socializing one-on-one. My body and brain does not prune neural networks like a typical nervous system does. So I don't get used to things. I'm not able to tune stuff out. Exposure therapy is literally torture to people like me. I need the option of simply removing myself from discomfort. I do not need to tough it out in any way. I need to be able to say no or to leave. I also need to engage in my hyperfixations and special interests. It's how I learn. It's why I'm so good at certain specific things. And the flow states that I experience when I'm engaged in my passions, they reset my nervous system and prevent my demand avoidance, sensory overwhelm, the things that cause meltdown, shutdown, and burnout. Some sensations, sounds, scents, and touches are actually painful for me, and other people might not even notice them. This pain needs to be treated as real. I need a clean, organized, sensical nest in order for my body and mind to rest. Because I have a PDA profile, I have a persistent drive for autonomy, a nervous system response to power imbalance, demands, and injustice, and a need for self-expression and creativity. Stories, costumes, fantasy, and play are crucial tools for me. I need flow, fairness, and freedom to regulate my nervous system. I personally struggle with executive function tasks, particularly money management and correspondence. I get overwhelmed by transitions like disappointments, cancellations, changes in plan, or break in my routine. I also get dysregulated by uncomfortable physical or emotional sensations. I need grace and understanding during times like that. I love to share what I am learning and what I am interested in. This passionate talking style is called info dumping. It's common for a lot of us, and I feel really loved, seen, and listened to when people let me info dump to them for a little while. I would very much like to be understood by my family and my community. I want to be known and seen as a valid way to human being. And some supports and accommodations would be really nice too.